Welcome to episode 60 of our series on the surnames of Appalachia and the American South. On today's show, we'll look at the surnames of a couple of famous sports personalities that most Southerners or sports fans will recognize. We'll also cover 6 other ones that are probably just as significant, but in other arenas of life. Our search for their origins will take us from Tipperary, Ireland to northern Germany. I hope you'll join me. Let's get started. Number 1, Mize. It's interesting that over the past few weeks there has been a plethora of German names to cover, and Meis is no exception. According to the Dictionary of American Family Names, Meis is an Americanized version of the German Mize or Meis. To confirm this notion, I dug into my book on German names, and lo and behold, Meis is in it. As a surname, it was given to a person who traded in birds. According to Hans Ballo and Edna Gentry, Mize is another word for gray-headed chickadee, a songbird that's native to both Europe and North America. At any rate, I feel confident that Mize is a German family name. It most likely came straight to America from Europe. Number 2, Etherton or Atherton. This is an Old English name for one who lived near or on a spring-fed farm. As you might recall, I was raised by my maternal grandparents. They were from the mountains of Cherokee County, North Carolina, on the border with Tennessee. They also talked about their spring-fed water system. The shed or house that they built over the spring served as a cooler to keep milk and other perishables from spoiling. Later they got electricity about the time I was born, 1960. So they bought an electric refrigerator that they called a Frigidaire. Do you remember folks calling the electric ice box a Frigidaire? I think that's quintessential Appalachian and Southern. About the surname, I was unable to find Etherton among the traditional families of Ireland, Wales, or Scotland. So I believe we're safe in calling Etherton or Atherton an English surname. Number 3, Birchfield. When I received the request for Birchfield, memories of a sign for Birchfield Motors on Oliver Springs flooded my mind. It's a name and family with which I'm familiar. Birchfield is an Old English family name for one who lived by a birch tree and an open field, or open space. There are at least 2 places of origin for the surname in England, so it's doubtful that they share a common origin. Among the 2 most prominent places of origin are in Staffordshire and Lancashire, or Lancashire, I should say. As with the other names we've discussed so far today, this surname seems to have an exclusively English origin. It's not found among the traditional family names of Ireland, Wales, or Scotland. Number 4, Moon. This family name may suggest that someone in the early days of the paternal line must have liked looking at the sky at night, but that's not what it means. It could be English for a tradesman in a shield or personal protection business, or it could be a French for a place in Normandy. Moon is found among the traditional surnames of Scotland, but it's absent from those in Wales and Ireland. George Fraser Black says that the Scottish version of Mohon or Moon came from France with the Normans. It's been in the Scottish record since 1300. There's a similar name in Germany. It's spelled Mond. At the end of the day, I think the name Moon in our neck of the woods is either of English or Scottish origin with possible deeper roots in Normandy. Number 5, Strange. When I received this request, my mind went straight to images of a golf course where the Norfolk, Virginia native Curtis Strange was playing. He's retired from the PGA Tour today, but before he did, he managed to collect 17 wins. He also won 12 more professional tournaments outside of the United States. Curtis's surname came to the Isles with the Normans in the 11th century. As with Moon and many other Norman family names, Strange appears in the Scottish records way back in the 1200s, so George Fraser Black includes it among the traditional surnames of the Bonnie Land. It didn't make it into Ireland or Wales early enough to be included among their traditional surnames. At the end of the day, I think we are safe in calling Strange an English or Scottish surname, depending on where your paper trail leads you. Number 6, Sherrill. This next surname takes me from the golf course to the college football field. Do you remember Jackie Sherrill? He played football and linebacker under the great Paul Bear Bryant and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Later he coached the Texas A&M Aggies, where he won the Southwest Conference Championship 3 times back in the mid-1980s. At first glance, I thought the coach's paternal line was of Norman origin, but it's an English surname taken from places so named in Devonshire, England. I couldn't find it among the traditional family names of Ireland, Scotland, or Wales. I suspect that the coach's ancestors may have known Daniel Boone's family. The Boones came from that part of England. Number 7, Lyon. When I was a much younger professor, I was drawn to Lyon College in Batesville, Arkansas. Being a Presbyterian church-affiliated school or institution founded in 1872, I thought it had to have had a Scottish or Irish connection. Well, I never became associated with Lyon College, but the name does come from Scotland, Ireland, or France. There's a city in southern France named Lyon, and according to George Fraser Black, that's the origin for both Scottish and English lions. The Irish lion is an anglicized form of the Gaelic O, or. Although we can thank the Normans for this family name, your forebears were fully English, Irish, or Scottish. I think you'll need a paper trail to locate the origin of your specific line. Number 8, Payne. We've made it to episode 60 in our series on Appalachian and Southern surnames, and we've finally landed on one of my close family names. My beloved grandmother, who raised me, and I've talked about several times, was a Payne from near Hiwassee River on the border of Tennessee and North Carolina. My grandmother was pious, so she would have not been happy to learn that her family name came into the Isles with the Normans. It originally meant pagan, heathen, or rustic. Now, the idea that it came with the Normans would not have been an issue for her, but being called pagan or heathen would have bothered her. Payne is not found among the traditional surnames of Wales or Scotland, but it's been in Ireland since the 14th century. There are several places in Leinster and Tipperary named Paynestown. I think a paper trail would be needed to trace your line to Ireland or England. Well, folks, that's about all I have for you today. I hope you got some meaningful information out of our discussion. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If demand continues to warrant it, I'll be back soon with another episode of The Vantage Point. God bless you and yours. Bye-bye.